Yianni John's putting the visual arts into Smart Arts this afternoon with a fine young artist.
I think, yes, with Christmas coming up, it's always a good time and a bit of time to go and see galleries. And Dr. Colin Rosewell is here. He's a doctor in the arts and philosophy, and he's going to tell us about his visit to the Francis Bacon in the Art Gallery of New South Wales.
Yeah, it's quite a significant art exhibition in many ways. I think it's the first time that Bacon's been introduced to this culture here in Australia. So, and it's a great exhibition, a retrospective that spans 5 decades of Bacon's life. And what's interesting about this show is that it incorporates video documentary along a chronology of his work over those 5 decades, and a lot of remnants from his studio as well.
Yeah, it was pretty untidy.
It was one of those chaotic studios, I think, in the history of art, and it's recently been recreated in England. Which was,
with the clutter?
Well, it was a bit of an excavation, really, more of an archaeological dig.
Tell us about Bacon.
Francis Bacon, it's an Irish painter, post-war painter, who explored various, in a very visceral way, aspects of the human condition. So
I've seen your art.
He's a bit up my street. He's a bit up my street.
Your art looks like an autopsy sometimes.
It is.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. It's organic and it's not really innards, but it just has that. I don't know how to describe your art. People have just better go online. Maybe it's there.
It's very visceral, much like Bacon's, in the sense where you're on a borderline somewhere between the beautiful and the ugly. You can't really decide. And for me, I love artwork like that. I love artwork that positions you between that space where you can't really decide if you like it or not, but you like looking at it anyway.
Yeah, I do like looking at yours. Yeah. It's organic yet surreal. It's sort of something from outer space almost. And it's beautifully
it's inner
done.
And outer space, isn't it? Really?
It's beautifully done. The quality of the work was what mediums did Francis
Bacon used? He did a lot of, the way he used to paint was very unconventional in a lot of respects. He used to paint on the unprimed side of the canvas.
What does that mean?
Well, when you prime a canvas, you're basically covering the canvas with gesso in order to create a ground that you can work from. And with Bacon, he'd turn the canvas around the other way, so he'd paint on the unprimed side because he liked the coarseness of all of that.
And he used rag, dust.
And yes,
used dust from his
sand, anything, electroset, rags, working very randomly. He's quite a spontaneous painter, very explorative painter.
And painted a lot with photography.
Yes, photo referencing as well. He didn't like to paint from life. He very rarely.
Was that a new thing? Was that something innovative?
I suppose it was at that time. Now it's a lot of artists.
And what time are we talking? After the Second World War?
Yeah, Second World War. So we're looking at the 50s onwards. I particularly like Bacon's period, probably leading into the 80s. I think that's when he really established his style and a name for himself in the art world. So
he used to deny it was autobiographical. You know, the screaming popes and the meat and all that sort of stuff.
Well, there are great explorations of the human condition, and a lot of the time he painted with reference to people that he lived with, people that he met in pubs, particularly around the Soho area of the UK, which is where he used to live. Yes, absolutely so.
And is it a good representation of his work, this show at the Art Gallery of New South Wales?
I think it's terrific. Anybody that's interested in post-war painting or visceral work such as Francis Bacon or even Gleeson or my sort of work, then they're going to love this show because it presents it's delivered as a chronology. So you're beginning from where Bacon began, and you go right through the exhibition to the right up to the time when he died in the early 90s. And it's a great it's a great tour. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I saw him on a video, and they were getting him to sum up what life is, and he said, "Oh, on the way over here, I saw a dog poo on the pavement," and he said, "That's life."
Yes.
He said, "That's life." Yes. So in December 20 at the Contemporary Art Museum, Anish Kapoor is coming to Australia, and he does amazing big sculptures.
Sculptural
events.
Not that much, not as much as I do Bacon. but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
He does those big
What I
reflective
do.
things that
Okay.
follow the sun, and
Yeah.
and he has one called Memory, which he had in the Guggenheim Museum that took up a whole room.
Wow.
Yeah, so he does monumental.
Is that the
stuff.
one that looks like blocks of cheese or something?
No, this is like a big rubber thing.
I saw, yes, it's yellow. I saw one of them on ABC 24 last night, and
No,
it's...
that's the Triennial in Brisbane. That was a Kiwi artist. And
Oh, that's something different.
yeah.
Well, a lot of his work is site-specific as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's up to the environment.
That's all right. That's all right. There's lots of artists.
Yeah, and of course you can go on. We last week spoke about the Alexander exhibition, so you can see some wonderful art relating to one of the world's most enigmatic characters. Colin, thanks so much for coming in.
No problem at all, my
Hopefully
pleasure.
we can make it a regular thing through 2013 too, if you can
And
get...
we're-
Well, there's a
get
few
to the
more
galleries
shows
first.
happening,
Can I
so
give a plug?
Yes, go give it.
Colin and I are having a show together down in Sydney
Where at?
at the Chrissy Cotter Gallery, and that will be next October, 10 days after my wedding. Oh my God, the pressure.
a lot of maternal stuff going into the painting.
Lots of brides.
Yeah.
Plenty of fun, plenty of fun.
Thanks, Colin.
Oh, bacon's on its offer, by the way. If
Is
anybody,
it?
yeah,
Right.
February. So
And
you've got plenty of
Kapoor's
time
on
to see
until
it.
April, so
Go and see Anish Kapoor and at the Contemporary Art Museum
from December 20th.
from December 20, and the Francis Bacon exhibition at the Art Gallery of New South Wales. Dr. Colin Rosewell, thanks so much for telling us
Thank
all
you very
about
much.
it,
No worries.
taking us for a
Thank
tour of the
you.
gallery. I noticed you bought a very big book in.
Yes, there's a very impressive.
He's giving that to me, by the way.
That's his Christmas present.
Very
Yeah, there's a very impressive catalogue that goes with the show. So pick